Hello and welcome to this second first look exploring session looking at the Tragedy of Hoffman. Sorry, no, I didn't say the title right. The Tragedy of Hoffman. Or A Revenge for a Father by Henry Chettle. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with the death and destruction that has been meted out and or promised, and yeah, we think that this is a text that is quite extra and wants to be extra, and that's sort of fine. So if we overdo it, then forgive us. You know, you can always pull it back later. You can always pull it back. Always at the rehearsal process, start big, pull it back, pull it back. So nothing worse than starting small and then trying to get people to be bigger later on. It always fails. Anyway, reading Hoffman is...
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm a teacher from the Northwestern United States. And you know, Rob, I'll just insert that I don't think with this play there's a top to go over.
Okay, full Brian Blessed from everyone then. Reading Lorrique and Old Stilt is...
Aliki, Chapple, always happy to go over any available tops.
Reading Lodowick, Austria and Jerome is...
Alan, based in Suffolk.
So I've answered my own question there. Reading Lucibella and Saxony is...
Kyle, based in Tucson.
And reading Rodorick, Fibs and Prussia is...
Sarah Blake, actor, writer and director based in Germany.
And I'm your host, Robert Crighton. I will be reading Mathias and Stilt, as well as stage directions and generally keeping us going. It's a bit crowded in this first scene. We don't quite have enough readers to do it justice, so there will be some minor clashes. Hopefully nobody's talking at exactly the same time, but certainly some people will be reading two characters who are on stage at the same time. So, you know, silly voices, which I think this play can hold up to if necessary, but don't worry, it will get easier to do this as the session goes on. Act 3, Scene 1. Enter Lodowick and Lucibella.
Are you not faint, Divinus Lucibella?
No, the clear moon strews silver in our path, and with our moist eyes weeps a gentle dew upon the spotted pavement of the earth, which softens every flower whereon I tread. Besides, all travel in your company seems but a walk made in some goodly bower, where love's fair mother clips her paramour.
This is the chapel, and behold, a bank covered with sleeping flowers that miss the sun. Shall we repose us till Mathias come?
The hermit soon will bring him. Let's sit down. Nature or art hath taught these boughs to spread in manner of an arbor over the bank.
No, they bow down as veils to shadow you, and the fresh flowers, beguiled by the light of your celestial eyes, open their leaves as when they entertain the Lord of Day. You bring them comfort like the sun in May.
Come, come, you men will flatter beyond mean. Will you sit down and talk of the late wrongs intended by the Duke of Prussia?
Fairest, forget it. Leave it till we are freed from hence. I will defy him and cause all the knights assembled for our proposed tournament to turn their keen swords against his caitiff head.
Pray thee no more. I feel thy blood turn hot, and wrath inflames thy spirit. Let it cease. Forgive this fault. Convert this war to peace.
Oh, love's sweet breath, with what a heavenly charm do your soft fingers my war thoughts disarm. Prussia had reason to attempt my life, enchanted by the magic of thy looks, that cast a lustre on the blushing stars. Pardon, chaste queen of beauty, make me proud, to rest my toilet head on your tender knee. My chin with sleep is to my bosom bowed. Fair, if you please, a little rest with me.
I'll be sentinel. I'll watch for fear of venomous worms or wolves or wolvish thieves. My hand shall fan your eyes like the filmed wing of drowsy Morpheus, and my voice shall sing in a low compass for a lullaby.
I thank you. I'm drowsy. Sing, I pray, or sleep. Do what you please. I'm heavy. Good night to all our care. I am blessed by this soft pillow where my head doth rest.
And he sleeps.
In sooth, I'm sleepy too. I cannot sing. My heart is troubled with some heavy thing. Rest on these violets whilst I prepare in thy soft slumber to receive a share. Blush not, chaste moon, to see a virgin lie so near a prince. 'Tis no immodesty when the thoughts are pure, no time nor place have power to work fair chastity's disgrace. Lodowick, I clasp thee thus, so arm clip arm, let sorrow fold them, this wish true love harm.
She sleeps. Enter Mathias, Hoffman, and Lorrique. Art sure thou'st found them?
Look, are these they?
Adulterer! Strumpet! Stabs Lodowick and Lucibella.
No!
Oh,
Inhuman deed! What? Kill them both?
Both have abused our glory. Both shall bleed.
how now, what have I done? My Lodowick bleeds. Some savage beast has fixed his ruthless fangs in my soft body. Lodowick, I faint. Dear, wake me, Lodowick. Alas, what means your breast to be so wet? Is it blood or sweat?
Troubles me.
Brother.
Who's that? Mathias?
Aye. Accursed I.
Where's the good hermit? Thank him for his love. Yet tell him, Ferdinand of Prussia hath a long arm. Some murderer of his hath killed us sleeping.
Killed thee? Oh no, I trust the careful destinies deny so hard a fate. 'Tis I alone am killed. Come, Lodowick, and close up my night-veiled eyes that never may again behold the day.
What means Mathias?
Hold me not, Prince Otho. I will revenge myself upon myself. For fratricide, for damned fratricide, I've killed my brother sleeping in the arms of the divinest form that ne'er held breath. I've killed love's queen, defaced with my foul hand the goodliest frame that ever nature built, and driven the graces from that mansion wherein they have continued from their birth. She now being dead, they'll dwell on no more on earth.
What moved you to it, brother?
Jealous rage, suspicion by Prince Otho that Lucibella had fled with a base Greek. Oh me, accursed, I am born to shame.
But I am the wretcheder that from the love devoted to the house of Saxony have thus begot this monster cruelty. I lay within an arbor where I saw the princess and yourself in this disguise departing secretly from my uncle's court. I judged you for a Greek, as you appeared, told Prince Mathias of your secret flight, and he, led on by fury, followed you where thus deceived by night and your attire hath robbed your heart of life, his own of joy.
Forgive me, brother, pardon, fairest maid, and ere the icy hand of ashy death fold your fair bodies in his sable veil, discover why you put on this disguise.
Escape the lustful Duke of Prussia, who purposed this night to murder me, and ravish her, whom death hath made his prey, my Lucibella, whose lights are marked with clouds that ne'er will be cleared.
My uncle? Fie! Who buzzed into your head this damned lie?
It is no lie.
No lie? 'Tis true, 'tis true. The Reverend Hermit Rodorick told it us.
The hermit is a villain, damned in hell before the world's creation, if he said my princely uncle purposed such a thought. Look to the princess, there is life in her. Cheer up your heart, Prince Lodowick. Courage, man. Your being of comfort may recover her, while I bring forth the hermit and disprove this false assertion. Rodorick is a slave, a vile and irreligious hypocrite. No hermit, but a devil, if he dare affirm such falsehood of Duke Ferdinand.
And we're just going to pause there because, not a lot's happened. So, yes, previously on Hoffman, a series of lies told by Hoffman in disguise has led to this terrible incident, shall we say, of stabbageness. I think this is one of those things where the O of the script can be extemporized. I think Lodowick and Lucibella can make whatever pain noises they wish. And they don't have to be exactly O. I suspect there's no on that. So yeah, it's a chance for Hoffman to do some play acting again. Let me tell you the story, and hi, dead person, tell us what happened. Why? How did you end up being here? And, if it was a murder mystery or anything, they would just say it was the. And then they die. But no, they're getting full sentences out. I mean, I assume they've hit a major artery. They're going to exsanguinate or something. With this play, I think blood everywhere. I'm thinking Tarantino just pulls. I mean, stage management will hate this. But yeah, we do your best to be so wet is to blood or sweat. It's blood. It's blood. That said, to be honest, after about 2 minutes of Lodowick and Lucibella, I did want them to die. So I was, frankly, Lynn.
Now that's interesting because I actually thought that little scene was rather lovely. I thought the poetry was actually pretty top notch. So yeah, there we do have a tonal question, although it's clear how Rob would answer it. It's just like, yeah, it's just like they're so saccharine. You just like you want them off. Just like, hey, we could like drop the H in Hoffman and Offman.
Yes.
Sorry. Sorry, I took that from you, Alan. Yeah, so I actually thought that was a little bit sweet, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you just have to play it as like it's like beds of violets and so saccharine. You're just like, you people need to shut up.
I think I lost the will with them, after I'll be sentinel, I'll watch for fear of venomous worms or wolves or wolvish thieves. And I just went, nah, I'm out. Sarah.
Yeah, I love that because she's like, oh, yes, I'll watch out for venomous worms. And then she falls asleep immediately.
Yeah.
I think I found it quite affecting myself, albeit funny. I think it can be both. But I think if you make them very young, this becomes kind of a lot more horrifying because there is something about venomous worms and wolves and wolfish thieves that just makes me think that we're with really quite a young couple here. If they're sort of 16 years old or whatever, then all of a sudden this becomes both touching and funny at the same time, and the deaths become more horrific.
Lynn.
There was also another moment that just made me laugh. That I think it's Lucibella says something about let's talk about the Duke of Prussia's wrongs, and her boyfriend says, nah, let's not. So it's like, should we do some exposition? Nah.
Nobody's going to care about our plot strands in 2 minutes' time.
They're not going to be able to keep it straight. Just don't waste your time.
Okay. Nobody's dead yet, I should point out. They've just got more holes in them than they had earlier. So let's see where the scene goes. Enter, after Hoffman's done some acting, Rodorick. We've brought in Rodorick, as mentioned, who, upon being named, enters with Saxony and Austria. Enter Rodorick, Saxony, Austria. There may be some clashes here.
Rodorick is not as you report him, sir, nor did he e'er belie Duke Ferdinand.
Ne'er did. Why, then, did you maliciously advise Prince Lodowick and fair Lucibella to fly the Prussian court this dismal night?
Who? I spake not with them.
Yes, you did.
Or was it that he spake with you? Tell us where.
Danzig, in the Duke of Prussia's court.
Who heard him besides you?
The Princess Lucibella.
As heaven shall help my fleeting soul, I did.
Why speaks my dukedom's hope in hollow sounds? Look up, my fair child, here's Saxony and I, thy father, Lucibella, look on me. I am not angry that thou fleest away, but I come to grace thy nuptials. Prithee, speak.
Father, I thank you. Lodowick, reach me thy hand. How cold thou art! Death now assails our hearts, having triumphed over the outward parts. Farewell awhile. We die, but part to meet, where loves are certain, pleasures endless sweet. Father, this latest boon of you I crave. Let him and me lie in one bed and grave.
And the stage direction is Moritur dies.
Ah, me! Oh, miserable, wretched me! Hover a little longer, blessed soul. Glide not away too fast. Mine now forsakes his earthly mansion, and on hope's gilt wings will gladly mount with thine, where angels sing celestial ditties to the King of Kings. Brother, adieu. Your rashness I forgive. Pardon me, father. Pardon Austria. Your daughter has become a bride for death, the dismal eve before her wedding day. Hermit, God pardon thee. Thy double tongue hath caused this error, but in peace, farewell. He that lifts us to heaven, keep thee from hell.
And Lodowick dies.
Oh, strange conjecture. What should move this prince to charge me with such horrid cruelty?
I'll tell thee, hypocrite.
Stay, Mathias, stay. It is thy uncle Rodorick, and besides, my honor and Duke Austria shall be gauged. He never parted from our company in his hermitage since day declined, and glimmering twilight ushered in the night.
Not from his hermitage.
Not he.
Is't possible?
By heaven, he did not.
Then there is villainy, practice and villainy. Mathias has been wrong and drawn to kill his natural brother, with him to destroy the rarest piece of nature's workmanship, no doubt by practice and base villainy. A hermit, not at court. Strange, wondrous.
Oh, for my son and Austria's worthy child.
Thou weepst in scorn, and every tear of thine covers a smile. Saxony, I defy all truce, all league of love. Guard thee, proud Duke, thy sons have made me childless. I'll have thee consort in death with my wronged girl and me.
And Saxony and Austria fight. Hoffman, unseen, stabs Austria.
Help! Prince Mathias, the hermit! Oh, the heavens! The Austrian Duke sinks down upon the earth.
Proud John of Saxony, hast thou no wound?
Not any, Austria, neither touched I thee.
Somebody touched me home. Twain world, farewell. Dying, I fall on my dead Lucibella.
And Austria dies. For the second death Alan's had to do there. He immediately had to start speaking after his own death scene. And now dies again.
Sir, what are you that take on you to part? It's by your weapon that the Duke has fallen.
If I thought so, I'd fall upon this point, but I am innocent of such an ill. Still, my good kinsman, Duke of Austria, then were Prince Otto of Lunenburg set down in sad despair's black book to rave and die, but I am free of such iniquity.
Are you Prince Otto of Lunenburg?
He is, and heir apparent to Duke Ferdinand.
Maybe the moon deceives me in my grief, as well in the distinguishing of sounds as sight. I have heard of young Lunenburg, and seen him too, as Hoffman's overthrow. He looked not like you, neither spake him like you.
Father, 'tis he. Lorrique, his man, attends that fellow who is all composed of mirth. Of mirth? Death? Why should I think on mirth after so foul a murder? Come, lend hands to give this princely body funeral rites, that I may sacrifice this hand and heart for my peace offering on their sepulchres.
Boy, thou shalt not leave old Saxony childless for all this sorrow. Prince, and if thou art Otho, help in my son with noble Austria. Lodowick shall be my burthen. Brother, yours the lovely but the luckless Lucibella. So tread a heavy measure. Now let's go to inter the dead, our hearts being dead with woe.
Exeunt carrying the dead bodies. Rodorick remains with Lucibella.
There's life in Lucibella, for I feel a breath more odoriferous than balm furl through the coral pearl portals of her lips. Apparent signs of life. Her pulses beat. Oh, if I could but yet recover her, 'twould satisfy the state of Austria, that else would be disturbed for want of heirs. Heaven, be propitious. Guide my hand to preserve fainting life in this fair form. Grant this, thou soul of all divinity, and I will strive, whatever mortal may, to serve thee on my knees both night and day. Tarry, Prince Otto, see the bodies balmed.
Enter Hoffman and Saxony.
Yeah, I pray you think me not impassioned dull. I must withdraw and weep. My heart is full. Oh, reverend ma'am, thou bearest the richest fruit that ever fell in its unripened spring. Go, lay her soft, she had ill fate to fall, but rich, or fair, or strong, death swallows all.
Exit Rodorick bearing Lucibella.
Hola, Lorrique, leave our horses and draw near.
Enter Lorrique.
Help me to sing a hymn unto the fates composed of laughing interjections.
Why, my good lord, what accidents have chanced that tickle so your spleen?
Oh, my dear self, thou trusty treasurer of my revenge, kneel down and at my bidding kiss the earth, and in her cold ear whisper this strict charge, that she provide the best of her perfumes, the fat of lambs wrapped from bleating ewes, the sweetest smelling woods she can devise, for I must offer up a sacrifice to blessed occasion that hath seconded me with means opportune, my desire to wreak.
Now I have kissed the earth, let me partake in your great joy that seems to exceed your hopes. Are Lodowick and the princess murdered?
'Tis done. Go, hie thee to Duke Ferdinand, tell him how misadventure and mistrust hath killed Prince Lodowick and bright Lucibella by Prince Mathias' hand, and to that chance, another unexpected incident, say that the Duke of Austria and Saxony, being by the hermit Rodorick entertained, and hearing outcries in the dead of night, came and beheld the tragic spectacle, which sight did so enrage the Austrian Duke that he assailed the Saxon, but fell slain on his pale daughter, now deflowered by death.
Is Austria, then, slain by Saxony?
Come, he's dead, either by him or me. No matter, he is gone. There's more to go. Run with the news. Away.
Exeunt. Slightly odd closing bit from Hoffman there, because he's just telling us what we already know. We were there. We saw what happened. I mean, it's sort of fun because he's going, oh, then this happened. And, you know, goes spread. Fell slain on his pale daughter. Did he actually literally fall over the, you know, over that corpse?
He said he was.
Yeah.
So, Lynn.
So one of the things I've noticed about this whole scene, I mean, going back further than the chunk we just read, is that there are good chunky bits where Hoffman doesn't say anything. So that's something a director needs to think about. You have this like really crazy over the top character. This is obviously a kind of vehicle for your histrionic lead actor. So is he like upstaging the rest of the action, or does he kind of pull back and let people have their moment? That's something you need to think about. And I just love the dramaturgy here, because Hoffman thinks he's got it all worked out, but it turns out Rodorick has an alibi. So, you know, there's an acting moment where you can see, like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, there's some intrigue. You know, he just manages to act his way out of everything. And then, you know, he wants as many people dead as possible. And so he gets sort of a bonus with Austria being killed. So yeah, it's just it's a crazy scene. I like no top to be over.
Yeah, and it's an interesting question about how you stage the stabbing of the bonus ball stabbing, because of course he's got to stab him so that nobody else sees, and that's an interesting way. How do you do that? Because presumably everybody's watching the fight. It's not like there's a Godzilla attack happening to the other side of the stage that everyone's looking at while the fight's going on. Everyone's going to be looking at the fight, so that's a really interesting technical challenge.
It is supposed to be night, so if you have people are acting like it's dark.
But he's got to show the audience he's done it and sort of do look at that, stabbed him, do a sword kingy moment downstage. Anyway, lots of hands, so I'll go to Alan, then Sarah, then Aliki.
Yeah, I mean, I think your comment about why did we get that précis from Hoffman at the end, I think what it is he's actually making sure Lorrique has got the story right to publish to the rest of the world. It's a spin doctory job. This is my official version, even if it bears little relationship to the truth.
Yes, but in terms of, you could impart that I'm going to tell you the story of what happened, make sure everybody knows it, and then you could exit. You don't need the audience to hear all of that detail. It's interesting. It's like almost they're expecting the audience to have missed something. Sarah. Muted.
Two things. I hope I don't forget one while I'm talking about the other. So in terms of the stabbing, the way I visualized it in my head was that because his next line after the stabbing is "Help, Prince Mathias, hermit, oh the heavens, the Austrian duke sinks down upon the earth." So I'm guessing that Saxony and Austria are fighting, and they do that thing where they get their swords up against each other, and then Saxony pushes Austria away, and he falls back onto Hoffman, who kind of catches him, and as he's lowering him to the ground, takes his knife out, like off to the side, so like they're facing the audience, takes his knife out and like stabs him in the side, so that it's really obvious to the audience what he's doing, but to everyone else he's just sort of like catching him and laying him down. That doesn't though, it doesn't really like make sense in terms of the, but it doesn't anyway, that stabbing, because it's like where his wound, wherever his wound is, unless he stabs him right in the middle, which people would see, that it makes no sense. Saxony knows he hasn't wounded Austria, and he actually says, I didn't touch him. You were the one. It was by your weapon that the Duke has fallen. And that just seems to kind of go away. The accusation, it isn't backed up. Rodorick's there. Mathias is there. They must have seen this too, or when they go off to embalm the bodies, they'll see where the wound is, and they'll see Saxony doesn't have any blood on his sword, so it's like it's a really weird thing here, the fact that it's kind of obvious that Hoffman's the one who stabbed him, but it's like, oh no, I didn't, oh well maybe you did, but no one seems to care. And you could say, oh, it's because they're taking the bodies away, but I think it's probably because Hoffman, while he's playing Otto, I think he must have a really, really specific personality with this guise that he's putting on. And obviously that would be something for the director and the actor to talk about together to work out precisely how he's playing Otto. But I think he must be playing him in quite an intense way. Otherwise, that argument about who killed Austria would just run on and on. Well, you did it. No, I didn't. You did it. Oh, no, I didn't. Look, my sword's clean. Yeah, you must have done it. And then, if that is the case, then that also explains why, point two, Lorrique and Hoffman have that dialogue. I think it's probably to allow the audience the enjoyment of seeing Hoffman, take off his mask and actually be Hoffman for a bit. And yes, okay, he's also spin doctoring the murder because it's still up in the air. He says, oh, maybe it was him who killed him, maybe it was me. He doesn't seem to care if he gets caught or not. But I think this is just an opportunity for the audience to enjoy seeing him be himself with his servant. And also so that we get, because if he's being very, very stern as Otto, the audience gets to see the glee. I mean, there is so much glee in that end scene about
He's
the
dead
murders.
either by me, him, or me.
Yeah.
No matter.
And he's-
The no matter is great. I
Yeah.
love that. It's just it doesn't actually matter. Nobody really cares. I mean, it's not like Saxony really cares who stabbed Austria, because as far as he's concerned, as long as Austria is dead, there might be a little thing between them later on. Who knows?
But I don't think Saxony necessarily wanted Austria dead, because it was Austria who attacked Saxony. I think Saxony was just like, "Oh, what's going on here? Don't you come at me with your sword." So it doesn't quite make sense, but I think it's okay that it doesn't, because it's like there's this central character who is just manipulating everybody, and he's doing such a job of it. It's like he's carrying everyone along with his play acting, and he's enjoying himself so much.
It's also a question of whether he is actually carrying everyone along, or whether this is the point where actually the spin starts to, because that's the thing about spin, is actually people see through it pretty bloody quickly most of the time. They're going, well, we're going to sort of allow you the plausible deniability of saying what you're saying and saying that it's true, but we don't really believe it, and we kind of know that, okay, something dodgy is going on. And maybe this is the point, whereas before it's just, oh, he's Otto. That's lovely.
And who was the one who said that he knew? Oh,
Saxony again.
Saxony was the one who remembered Otto. So you think it would make more sense if he'd stabbed Saxony, because he would have had a reason for doing that. But anyway, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Saxony-
Sorry, Aliki. Yes.
Sorry, I haven't read ahead, so this is a pure guess. Saxony, for my money, is going to be the one who starts unpicking the plot, because he already knows two things that nobody else seems to have twigged about our anti-hero. I'm also really enjoying the thought that I like very much what Sarah said about the tail end of that scene. And again, this is why I had suggested last time that you have a sort of chart where he crosses off the people who are dead, because that's a moment where that can happen as well. I can imagine Lorrique carrying the chart, unrolling it. I also, last thing I promise, I am really weirded out, not just by by Austria falling slain on his pale daughter, but that she is now deflowered by death. I mean, that brings up some... It's not like we haven't had some extremely nasty imagery here, but that's some kind of gratuitously nasty imagery that,
Yes, because our idea of death is, primarily being a scythe wielding, but you go to some of the earlier imagery,
Right.
He'll whack you over the head with a stick, and there's the potentially of all sorts of unpleasant sort of extensions from that.
You
thought.
go a little bit later in English literature, and Andrew Marvell says the grave's a fine and private place. You're intact there.
Lynn.
Yeah, but it's not original. That metaphor, a figure of speech, is not original to this play. That image of a young woman who dies before she's married, being married to death, and death deflowering her. You see that in other plays, some of which we may not mention. But it's he didn't make that up.
Persephone, I guess, is the origin of all of this.
That tracks. Yeah.
And of course, the two who initially get stabbed by Mathias here, who's sort of getting, is it a particular comeback on him for the brutally murdering two people. Just was there any sort of mention of, hi, we appreciate you thought they were somebody else, but you still murdered some people. Oh well, never mind. Because I say, and they get a chance to have a little chat before they die, so that's all lovely. So Sarah.
No, because he's really sorry.
Oh, that's how the criminal justice system works. I was forgetting. Yeah, you write a letter saying, "Dear Judge, I'm really, really sorry. I was having a bad day, and I got confused because I thought he was a Greek wrestler or something. I forget what the excuse was. It was something like that, wasn't it? He was a slippery Greek, I think was the description, wasn't it? It's just, which created all sorts of interesting, strange images that we will move on from.
Well,
Sorry, say again, Leaky.
I said it's the olive oil, and I'm Greek, so I'm allowed to make the racist jokes about Greeks.
Okay. I think we should move on, which is what I seem to say at the end of every scene, actually. We just reach a point every time and just going, should we move on? We should move on. This is going weird. Okay. Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Stilt and a rabble of poor soldiers. Old Stilt, his father, with his scarf like a captain, as well as Fibs. A scurvy march is played. So this is a march with no lemons. Father, set you the army in array while I invocate the general folk. Fibs, foremen, and friends all, officers all, help to marshal. Prince Jerome, my lord, shall remunerate. That shall be full of thanksgiving, while nature is able to nourish or sustain. Father, you have orders to stay. The rest be sententious and full of circumstance, I advise you. And remember this, that more than mortality fights on our side, for we have treason and iniquity to maintain our quarrel.
What says my son? Treason and iniquity?
Reason and equity, Father. There's little controversy controversy in the words. But like a captain courageous, I pray, go forward. Remember the place you are in. No more but this. The days of old, no more but that, and the glory, Father, knighthood at least, to the utter defacing of you and your posterity. No more but so. Exit Stilt.
Well, go thy ways. Thou art able to put fire into a flintstone. Thou hast as rheumatic a tongue to persuade as any is between Pole and Pomer. But thou art even kith after kind. I am thy father, and was infamous for my exprobrations to discourage an assembly of tall soldiers afore thou wert born, and I have made them stand to it, tooth and nail. How say you, most valiant and reprobate countrymen? Have you not yet heard I have been a stinger, a tickler, and a wormer?
Yes, noble ancient Captain Stilt, you have removed men's hearts. I have heard that of my father, oh God bless his soul, when you were but one of the common soldiers that served old Hoffman in Norway.
I then was. And Hoffman was a gentleman who would not have given his head for the watching. But he is cut off, as valiant cavalieros all shall be, and they be no more negligent of themselves. But to the purpose, we are dissembled and fallen into battle array in the behalf of Prince Jerome, a virtuous prince, a wise prince, and a most respectless prince, my son Timothy's master, and the unlawful heir of this land. Now, sir, the old Duke has put out a declamation and says our rising is no other than a resurrection. For the prince inspires not against his father, but the Duke inspires against his son, using him most naturally, charitably, abominably, to put him from the intercession of the crown. Wherefore, as you be true men and obstinate subjects to the state, uncover your heads, cast up your caps, and cry, "A Jerome!
A Jerome! A Jerome! A Jerome! Enter Jerome and Stilt.
Most noble countrymen, I cannot but condole in joy and smile in tears to see you assembled in my sight. But these are the lamentations that I, poor prince, must make, who for my father's proclamation am like for to lose my head, except you stand by me. For they are coming on with bows, bills, and guns against us. But if you be valiant and stand to me lustily, all the earth shall roar, but we'll have victory.
Enter with drum and colours the Duke of Prussia, Hoffman, Lorrique, a captain to lead the drum and a herald. The soldiers mass and make a stand. All on Jerome's side cast up their caps and cry,
"A Jerome!"
change sides,
Upon
Sarah.
these, yes, I'm just changing character. Blah, blah, blah. Upon these traitors, valiant gentlemen, let not that beast, the multitude, confront the majesty of me, their awful duke, with garlic breath and their confused cries. Strike their typhus and body down to fire that dare against us, their sovereign, conspire.
Come, you have your hands full and enough. Come, where have we to do? Stand to it, Stilt!
Stand to it. Here's the father and the son that will stand all through, although the rest all fly away.
I warrant you, Prince, when the battle comes, rejoicing, my son and I will be invisible. And they overcome us, I'll give you leave to say I have no pith in me. Upon 'em, true prince, upon 'em!
Alarum, drums, etc. Hoffman kneels between the two armies. Oh, I thought 'twould come to that. I thought we should bring the false prince to his knees.
What means my dukedom's hope to turn thus base? Arise and smite thy foes.
I see them not, most honored uncle. Pity, I beseech, those silly people that offend as babes, not understanding how they do offend, and suffer me, chief agent in the wrong, to plead their pardons with a peaceful tongue.
Oh, we scorn pardons, peace and pity. We'll have a prince of our own choosing, Prince Jerome.
I, Prince Jerome or nobody. Be not obstacle, old duke. Let not your own flesh and blood be inherited of your dukedom, and a stranger displaced in his territory. For an ye do, we will take no comparison of you and your army, but fall upon you like temperance and lightning.
Upon your peril, gentlemen, assail!
If any bosom meet the brunt of war, mine shall be first opposed. These honest men that rise in arms for my young cousin's right shall be protected while Prince Otto stands.
I see now what a thing majesty is. Stilt, and the rest of my good people, my cousin Otto, looking but in the face of our excellence, cannot choose but take our part.
Nay, but trust him not, my lord. Take heed of him. Beware, your enemies are at hand.
Why should you make this intercession for these abjects, whose presumptuous hearts have drawn their rebel bodies against their head? Entreat not for them. They are all but dead.
Forbear a little, worthy countrymen.
Oh, nay. We deny that we are none of your countrymen. You are an arrant alien.
True, son, a mere peregrination, and one that was not born within our duke's damnation, and therefore not to be remitted to any substantial degree of office amongst us. That is that is the confusion of all.
But hear me.
Aye, pray hear him. Nay, I charge you all, upon pain of death, that you hear my cousin.
Well, we'll hear him. Come on, speak. What will you say?
Oh, I beseech you, save your lives and goods, for the Duke's squadrons, armed with wrath and death, watch but the signal when to seize on you. That can no more withstand their approved strength than sparrows can contend with towering hawks, or owlets against the eagle's eyrie. This act of yours, by gathering to a head, is treason capital, and without grace, your lives are forfeit to the extremist law.
Mass, he says true, son. But what's the remedy?
Oh, none at all, father. Now we are in, we must through stitch.
Yes, there is a remedy. Cast your weapons down and arm yourselves with mercy of your prince, who, like a gracious shepherd, ready stands to take his lost sheep home with gentle hands. As for your prince, I will with him entreat that he may be restored again in love, and unto offices of dignity, as either taster, sewer, cupbearer, the place himself thinks fittest for his state. And for my part, when that unhappy time of Prince Ferdinand's sad death shall come, which moment, but should I, as I say, behold that hour, although I am elected for your prince, Yet would I not remove this gentleman, but rather serve him as a counselor.
Give me your hand of that, cousin. Well said. Now get a pardon for me and my merry men all. Then let me be my father's taster, in the office belonging to his eldest son, I being the same. And then you shall see me behave myself, not as a rebel or a reprobate, but as a most reasonable prince and sufficient subject.
Well, since my lord has said the word, bring that he spoke of to pass, and you shall have my word too. And old Stilt, my father's, being a man of good reproach, I tell you, and condemnation in his country.
That I am, my lord. I have lived in name and shame these 67 winters, and all my neighbours can bear testament and accord.
Well, rest ye quiet. Sovereign, on my knees, I beg your pardon to grant their request. Suppose them silly, simple, and your own. To shed their blood were just, yet rigorous. The praise of kings is to prove gracious.
True soul of honour, substance of myself, thy merit wins their mercy. Go in peace, lay by your unjust arms, live by your sweat, and in content the bread of quiet eat.
God save Duke Ferdinand! And exit all of the soldiery. I mean, has no one seen The Life of Death and Jack Straw, and or any of the other plays that have inevitably dealt with this subject? I mean, I think it's already been mentioned in the chat that, you know, this is not a serious. I mean, it's a rebellion led by Jerome, for God's sake, with you know, comedy stagehands of old Stilt and Stilt who are doing, you know, wordplay throughout. And yeah, I mean, you don't just get the concession from the prince. It never works. You have to keep your army in place, otherwise you're not going to get what you want. They're just going to kill you. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just going to say that's what's going to happen. Yeah, we've been here before many times. But yes, this doesn't feel as serious as other interpretations. I mean, Life and Death of Jack Straw does it in a much more po-faced way. Yeah, thoughts in the room?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of buying it though, because Jerome is not very bright and he's probably a coward. So the chance to resolve this peacefully, he can persuade himself that Otho is sincere in saying, once your father, and I hope it's not soon, goes to his reward, I'll step aside and let you be head of state, and I'll just be your advisor. Jerome really wants to believe that because he doesn't really want to fight, you know. And it makes this fake Otto look so noble. It's like, I'm the peacemaker. I'm such a good guy, you know. So it's further sort of character building for this persona of Otto he's got going on. So, yeah, it is such a tour de force for the person playing Hoffman.
Aliki.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't buy it. Actual rebels in actual history have bought these things and been killed for their pains. I was interested to note that Stilt seems to have caught a bit of his dad's malapropism. Yeah. He was speaking perfectly well before, but now all of a sudden he's getting his words mixed up.
It does seem to be hereditary. I think they both have it in just a different degree and a slightly different vocabulary, so it's a slightly different series of substitutions. But yeah, the way Hoffman is playing this situation, playing both sides against them, you know, you don't know who he's going to betray next, really, do you? He's just sort of getting himself bigged up by both sides. So you know, it's a very good career move actually, because it doesn't matter which way this goes, because you know, they both love him now because, you know, he's the peacemaker. Though to be honest, peacemakers don't often end well actually in history either. Anyway, Sarah.
No one ends well in history. I have a question. Jerome says, well, in that case, then let me be my father's taster, being the office belonging to his eldest son, I being the same. That confused me because I'm taking taster to be like his food taster, in which case, why would you give that office to your eldest son? Because if something is poisoned and they eat it, then you've basically just killed off your heir. Why would you give that office to the heir? I'm confused. Or does taster mean something else?
Just double checking it's not a typo.
Yeah,
It is a taster, yes.
Yeah, I took it to mean, food taster. And no, and exactly right. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have your food taster be someone who's in your line of succession. That's like the last person you would put in that. So it's just, but this play.
Well, it is following on from Hoffman's speech before, isn't it?
Hoffman puts the idea in his head.
I mean, Jerome is just an idiot.
And I can understand why he would put that idea in his head, because it's like, if you serve him, you can slip him something or whatever. But it's like, I didn't get that line about being the office belonging to his eldest son. I'm like, what? Where did that come from?
Well, the thing is, what we're talking about, we're not talking necessarily food taster as in checking for poisons. We're talking about, someone who's, the master of the sewer or similar. So it's someone who has direct access to the leading person. So it's a cup-bearing position. It's not necessarily he's tasting the food, but he's with the ruling elite and has access to them in that sense. So it is a question of a promotion in that sense.
Okay, so it's sort of like first lady of the wardrobe or whatever. You don't actually go and sort out their clothes, right? Okay.
Groom with a stool.
Yeah. It's not a bad possibility. Anyway, we need to move on, finish the scene, because all the only people who've exited are sort of the rabble. All of the fast marshalled forces, all the named characters are still on stage as far as we can tell. So, God save Duke Ferdinand, exit rabble.
Father, forgive me, prithee, and my men, and my man's father, by our single selves, for we have been the capital offenders.
Aye, truly, my lord, we raise the resurrection.
I pardon all. I give thee my taster's place. Honour this prince that thus hath won you grace.
Oh, God save
Duke Ferdinand and Prince
Otto.
Aye, and me too.
And Prince Jerome too. Well, son, I'll leave thee a court here still, and we get me home to my own desolation, where I'll labour to compel away excessity, and so fare you well.
Exit old Stilt.
This business over, worthy nephew Otto, let's go visit the sad Saxon duke, the mourning hermit, and poor Prince Mathias, that through affection wrought his brother's fall.
I'll wait upon your highness to that house of woe, where sad mischance sits in a purple chair, and underneath her beetle cloudy brows smiles at unlooked for mischiefs. Oh, there doth grief, unpainted in true shape, appear.
Shrill trumpets, sound a flourish, for the cries of war are drowned.
Exit the Duke of Prussia, etc.
Nay, but cousin, is it not necessary I wait upon mine own father, and Stilt upon me?
'Tis most expedient. Be obsequious. No doubt his excellence will take that well.
Enter Lorrique like a French doctor.
Dieu vous garde, monsieur.
Welcome, my friend. Hast thou any suit to me?
Ah oui, monsieur. If you be the Grand Duke Prince Legitimate of Prussia, I have for tendre to your excellence the service of one poor gentilhomme de Champagne.
I am not he you look for, gentlemen. My cousin is the true and lawful prince.
Aye, sir, I am the legitimate, and I am able to entertain a gentleman, though I say it, and he be of any quality.
Lorrique, now or never play thy part. This act is even our tragedy's best part.
Let me alone for plots and villainy. Only commend me to this fool of a prince.
tell thee, I am the prince. My cousin knows it. That's my cousin. And this is Stilt, my man.
À votre service, monsieur most généreux.
No doubt he is some cunning gentleman. Your grace may do a deed befitting you to entertain this stranger.
It shall be done, cousin. I'll talk with him a little and follow you. Go, commend me to my father. Tell him I'm coming, and Stilt and this stranger. Be mindful, cousin, that you will answer to my princely indignation.
Well, sir, I will be careful, never doubt. Now, scarlet mistress from thick sable clouds thrust forth by blood-stained hands, applaud my plot. That giddy wanderers amazed stand, while death strikes down suspectless Ferdinand.
Exit Hoffman. Sweet prince, I scarce understand this fellow well, but I like his conceit in not trusting Prince Otto. You must give him the remove, that's flat.
Aye, begar, he has chosen against you. He gives you good words, so he doth, but he will have one physique or dram for you, by gar, for company and principality be no possible.
Well, I apprehend thee. I have a certain princely feeling in myself that he loves me not.
Hold you there, my lord. I am but a poor fellow, and I have but a simple living left me. Yet my brother, were he a natural brother of my own, should he be adopted, I would adopt him and inherit him. I'd fit him.
Aye, but how, Stilt? But how?
By gar, my lord, I will tell him 5 knacks for to make him kick up his heels and cry, wee! Or by gar, I'll be hanged. And so I shall be, too, for the Lady Isabella's sake, your most excellent lady mother.
Didst thou know her, French doctor? Didst thou?
Aye, as beggars do the ladies that are their almsgivers.
By gar, you lie like a jackanape. I love the lady with a bunker, and for her sake, here, take this same. Put this in cup, where the competitor Prince Otto shall drink. By gar, it will poison him bravely.
Oh, that were excellent, my lord, and it could be done and nobody know on it.
Aye, but he always drinks in my father's cup.
I so let it be. Let the Duke drink it the same.
What? Poison my father? No, I like that not so well.
You shall drink too, and he too, and when you be sick, as you shall have a petit rumble in the belly, then take this same and give your father this, but your cousin, none of it, and by gar, nobody shall be dead, and kick and cry, and oh, but Otto!
Oh, this is excellent, master.
Well, physician, attend in my chamber here till Stilt and I return. And if I pepper him not, say I'm not worthy to be called a Dutch, but a draw-latch.
Farewell, a oui, je bid à vous. And we speed by thy practice, we'll crush a cup of thine own country wine. Exeunt Jerome and Stilt.
Go, speed to spoil yourselves. Doctor, right there. Lorrique, like thyself, appear. So now I'll post unto the hermitage and smile while silly fools act treason through my guile.
Exit Lorrique. So, we have cunning poison plot that it's effectively a three-way or a two-way murder plot from the fake Otto's point of view, and this whole thing about who's going to take the poison, who's going to take the antidote, yes. A bit complicated, but I like the plan. It'll be interesting to see how many people this takes out. This is one of those more, this could go wrong I don't see this going quite according to plan, but I definitely see a lot of vomiting dead people. I do love the Lorrique's lines though. You shall have a petit rubble of the belly when you feel a little rubble. It's actually quite a well written Frenchman for once. I mean, we often have these really terrible phonetic writings for some of the accents. Going, that's not the right accent, whereas this one feels pretty close. Sarah.
I would like to bet that what Lorrique was calling the antidote is actually the poison, and vice versa. So all of them will drink the antidote first, and then Jerome will poison himself and his father by making him and drinking himself and giving to his father what he thinks is the antidote, but it's actually the poison.
I would just give him lots of poison.
Well, no, because Otto
has his own supply. He will have his own antidote. He'll have taken it before he goes in the room because he's with Lorrique on this. This is the cunning plan that they've got together.
Okay, maybe it's just all poison then. I was thinking there's
both
going to be a
of them. The antidote is probably just poison Mark II. I mean, just make sure as many people die. It's the final episode of Blackadder Series 1. This is what I'm sort of expecting. Or in fact, actually, was it whichever season of Breaking Bad? That's what I'm seeing here. There's a more up to date topical reference there. Lynn.
Yeah, I'm sort of having the same experience I had yesterday. Of like, I can't keep the relationship straight, and I couldn't keep the poison plot, so I couldn't. But that's beginning to feel really quite deliberate. That your audience is in this constant state of confusion. That might be part of the effect that we're going for.
Again, I don't think it matters. We just know he's going he's being used as a dupe to poison some people, and some people are going to get poisoned. And I think in this particular instance, it'll be a lot clearer with staging because we know he's going to try and take out Jerome and Jerome's people, and they're going to persuade Jerome's people to kill themselves. That's basically the plan. Yeah. So, yeah. They're enjoying themselves, you can tell. They're really going. We've had stabbings, we've had brutal singeings, and we've got poison now. So we're working our way through. I don't know if we're going to get hangings and or beheadings, but we'll see where we go. Okay, Act 4, Scene 1. Enter the Duke of Prussia and Hoffman. Open a curtain. Kneel, Saxony, the Hermit, and Mathias. There are tapers burning.
See, princely uncle, the black dormitory where Austria and Prince Lodowick are laid, on the cold bed of earth, where they must sleep till earth and air and sea consume with fire.
Their rest be peace. Their rising glorious. Sad mourners, give your partners leave to kneel and make their offertory on this tomb that doth contain the honourablest earth that ever went upright in Germany.
Welcome, Duke Ferdinand. Come, kneel. Thus should each friend another's sorrow feel.
Is Lucibella in this monument?
No.
Yes, you're playing more than one person in the scene. Yes, I know. This it's fiddling.
No, she's recovered from death's violence, but through her wounds and grief, distract of sense.
Heaven help her! Here she comes.
Enter Lucibella, not dead, but mad.
Kneel still, I pray.
Oh me accursed! Why live I this black day? Goes to stab himself.
Oh, a sword! I pray you kill me not, for I am going to the riverside to fetch white lilies and blue daffodils, to stick in Lodowick's bosom where it bled, and in mine own my true love is not dead. No, you're deceived in him, my father is. Reason he should. He made me run away, and Lodowick too, and you, Mathias, too. Alack for woe! Yet what's the remedy? We must run all away, yet all must die. 'Tis so. I wrought it in a sampler. 'Twas heart and hand, and true love's knots and words. All true stitch, by my troth, the posy thus. No flight, dear love, but death shall sever us. No, that did. Not nither. He lies here, does he not?
Yes, lovely madam. Pray be patient.
Aye, so I am. But pray you tell me true, could you be patient, or you, to lose a father and a husband too? Ye could? I cannot. Open door here, ho. Tell Lodowick Lucibella would speak with him. I have news from heaven for him. He must not die. I've robbed Prometheus of his moving fire. Open the door, I must come in and will. I'll beat myself to air, but I'll come in.
Alas, her tender hands, smiting the stones, between their mistress rage in tears of blood.
Fair lady, be of comfort. 'Tis in vain to invocate the dead to life again.
Aye, gentle daughter, be content, I pray. Their fate is come, and ours is not far off.
Here is a hand over my fate hath power, and I should sink under the stroke of death, but that a purer spirit fills my breast and guides me from the footsteps of despair.
A heavenly motion, full of charity. Yourself to kill yourself were such a sin as most divines hold deadly.
Aye, but a knave may kill one by a trick, or lay a plot or so, or cog or prate, make strife, make a man's father hang him, or his brother. How think you, goodly prince? God give you joy of your adoption. May not such tricks be used?
Alas, poor lady.
Aye, that is true. I'm poor and yet have things, and gold rings all midst the leaves green. Lord, how do you? Well, I thank God. Why, that's well. And you, my lord, and you too? Ne'er a one weep? Must I shed all the tears? Well, he is gone, and he dwells here, said ye. Oh, I'll dwell with him. Death, dastard devil, robber of my life, thou base adulterer, that parts man and wife. Come, I defy thy darts.
Oh, sweet, forbear! Oh, for pity's sake, awhile her rage restrain, lest she do violence upon herself.
Oh, never fear me. There is somewhat cries within me, no. Tells me there's knaves abroad, bids me be quiet, lay me down and sleep. Good night, good gentle folks. Brother, your hand, and yours, good father. You are my father now. Do but stand here. I'll run a little course at base or barely break, or some such toy, to catch the fellow, and come back again. Nay, look thee now, let go, or by my troth, I'll tell my Lodowick how you use his love. So, now goodbye, now good night indeed. Lie further, Lodowick. Take not all the room. Be not a churl, thy Lucibella doth come.
And exit Lucibella. It needed to be done there. Carry on. Saxony, which is good. Good little thing, Lucibella's gone.
Oh.
Yes.
I forgot I was Saxony. Follow her, brother. Follow, son Mathias. Be careful, guardians of the troubled maid, while I confer with Princely Ferdinand about an embassy to Austria, with true reports of these disastrous haps.
Well, I will be her guardian and her guide. By rue her senses have been weakened, but I'll contend with charitable pain to save her, till they be restored again. Exit Mathias.
A virtuous resolution.
Muted.
Worthy Prince Rodorick, when tempestuous woe abates its violent storm, I shall have time to chide you for unkindness that have lived in solitary life from us so long. Believe me, Saxon prince, you did us wrong. Would I might never live in a worse state, for contemplation is the path to heaven. My new conversing in the world has proved luckless and full of sorrow. Fare ye well, my heaven alone, all company seems hell.
And for the safety of the scene, thank goodness, exit Rodorick. In fact, I think all of our clashes have now exited, so that makes this a lot easier. So, lots of things we can't talk about for this scene, but Lucibella, I mean, we're not thinking that this scene is running particularly. I suppose you could make it work not for laughs, but it does feel like the whole thing's a piss take, doesn't it? It's very hard to take that seriously.
I mean, speaking of piss, if I saw this on stage, I'd have to go to the ladies' room right away because, I mean, oh my God, this is so hilarious. I'm sorry, but come on.
It's not just Lucibella. I mean, it's Mathias as well. It's just because he's just going, oh, I will kill myself. And she's going, oh, no, not the thing. And then he sort of turns it around and it's just like, I mean, I've only read him today, and I'm sort of going, there is only so much cardboard in the world to build this man out of. There is no interiority that I've been able to find beyond his histrionics. I mean, it's great. I'm enjoying it, but it's all about effects. This play is just constant striving for effects. It's not looking for inner life at all, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Sarah.
I picking up on what I think it was it was Lynn said it earlier about what does Hoffman do while everyone else is taking their turn. I just think you'd have to have him snickering in the back of this scene. You'd have to have in between him sort of doing, oh, alas, poor lady. You'd literally have to have him like snort laughing. Like
I was thinking actually no. He's doing the WTFing because he doesn't know that she's not dead. Because he asked the question, is this where she's been entombed? And then she turns up mad and he goes, what the hell is going on? And then he can start, but in a sense, this is a surprise to him. He doesn't know this is where this is all going. And so he's got to improvise again.
Yeah. And in the earlier scene, he finds out Rodorick has an alibi. He's got to figure that out, and he does really quick. And Saxony says, "You don't look like the guy I saw who was Otto," and somehow we managed to divert that. So, he's been wrong-footed a couple of times. So this is like the third, and he always manages to just sort of, improvise his way into making his character of Otto look plausible. So.
And there's moments there as well where it might be Lucibella who sort of basically demonstrably manhandles Hoffman, so that when he goes, alas, poor lady, I just sort of see him just being, get off, stop with the mad acting, kind of thing. I can see that you could actually have quite a lot of fun with this on that level as well. Aliki.
Just a very brief appreciation for is Lucibella in this monument? No, she recovered. She got better. I mean, what a wonderful comeback.
Especially as the stage direction earlier did state that she dies.
and not she didn't die after all, but she's recovered from death's violence.
Yeah. Why? Because of the plot.
Because plot.
Yes. We didn't have anything to kick off Act 4, so we thought she'd just come back again. It's like one of those sequels to a not very good sequel to in a sequence, and just going, no, the character's just still there because everyone likes him, but he died in the last film. We don't care. Nobody cares. Are you going to give any explanation why they're still alive? No, they're just alive. That's fine. So at least they vaguely lampshaded it. Anyway, we have another plot to finish off. So all the annoying doublings have exited, so we should now have a clear run. Rodorick has exited, and Prussia is, after its thirsty work watching people overact.
My nephew, call for wine. My soul is dry. I'm sad at sight of so much misery.
Enter Jerome and Stilt with cup, towel, and wine.
Is the Duke's taster there?
I'm at hand with my office.
Fill for the Duke, good cousin. Taste it first.
I have wine to it still, for all my antidote.
I warrant you, master, let Prince Otho drink next.
Here, cousin, will you begin to my father?
I thank you kindly. I'll not be so bold. It is your office. Fill unto my lord.
Jerome drinks.
Well, God be with it. It's gone down, and now I'll send the medicine after.
Drinks additionally.
Father, pray drink to my cousin, for he is so mannerly that he'll not drink before you.
Pray you do, my lord, for Prince Otho is worthy of all this company to drink of that cup, which an he do, I hope he shall never drink more.
Good fortune after all this sorrow, Saxony.
O worthy Ferdinand, Fortune and I are parted. She has played the minion with me, turned all her favours into frowns, in scorn bobbed me of my hopes, and in not 1 hour o'erturned me from the top of her proud wheel.
Build not on fortune. She's a fickle dame, and those who trust unto her sphere are fools. Phil, for his excellence.
Here, cousin, for your excellence, I drink you to the Duke of Saxony.
Not I, kind cousin, I list not to drink.
Gods, lady, I think. Still, we're all undone. I feel it jumbling worse and worse.
Oh, give the Duke some of the medicine.
What medicine talk'st thou of? What ails my son?
Oh, Lord, father, and you mean to be a live man? Take some of this.
Why, this is a deadly poison, unprepared.
True, but it was prepared for you and me by an excellent fellow, a French doctor.
Aye, he is one that had a care of you.
Villain, what was he? Drink not, Saxony. I doubt I am by treason poisoned.
Heaven keep that fortune from my dread lord.
Enter Lorrique hastily.
Treason, ye princes, treason to the lives of Ferdinand, the Duke of Prussia, and my princely master Otto of Luneburg.
Who should intend us treason?
This fond prince!
Never to you, father, but to my cousin Otto. Indeed, I meant to poison him, but I peppered myself.
I never gave thee cause.
That is nothing to the purpose, but my lord took occasion by the counsel of a French doctor.
Physicians for the Duke? My uncle faints.
Surgeons for the prince. My master falls.
No, call no physicians, for I feel too late the subtle poison mingling with my blood. Numb all the passages, and nimble death fleets on his purple current to my heart.
Father, I am dying too. Oh, now I depart. Be good to Stilt, my man. He was accessory to all this.
Aye, truly was I, sir, therefore. I hope you will be good to me. I helped to mingle the poison as the French doctor of my master charged me.
What's that? A French doctor?
What's become of him?
We left him in the court, in my master's chamber.
Aye, sir, woe with him. Farewell, Stilt. Father, farewell. I ask your pardon with repentant eyes. All stars, O Stilt, for thus thy master dies.
And Jerome dies.
Take hence that traitor, and the fool his man.
I pray provide for me, sir.
Oh, let him be tortured then, upon a broken wheel, like a traitor and a murderer.
Oh, Lord, sir, I meant you no hurt, but the Prince Otho.
Away! Disturb us not with, idle talk.
Not you.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Doesn't matter, actually. Away, disturb us not with idle talk.
Provide, quotha, and you call this providing? Pray, let me provide for myself. Alas, my poor father, he'll creep upon crutches into his grave when he hears his proper stilt is cut off by the stump.
Heads with that fellow.
Pray, be not so hasty. You were scarce be so forward, and you were going as I am to the gallows. Exit guard with stilt.
How cheers my royal uncle?
Oh, like a ship that, having long contended with the waves, is at last with one proud billow smite down to the ruthless swallow of the sea. For thee, alas, I perceive this plot was laid. But heaven had greater mercy on thy youth and on my people, that shall find true rest, being with such a prince so wise and virtuous blessed. Ooh. Farewell, most noble John of Saxony. Bear thy unmatched grief with a mind bent against the force of all temptations. By my example, princely brother, see how vain our lives and all our glories be.
And Ferdinand, Duke of Prussia, dies.
God, for thy mercy, treason upon treason. How now, young Otto, art thou poisoned too?
Would God I were, but my sad stars reserve this simple building for extremer ruins. Oh, that French doctor!
Aye, that worst of hell. No torment shall content us in his death.
Nay, soft and fair, let him be taken first.
Enter Rodorick.
How now, sad brother, are you come to see the tragic end of worthy Ferdinand?
I heard of it too soon and came too late.
Well, brother, leave the Duke and wait on me. Mathias and the heart-grieved Lucibella shall go with us to Wittenberg and shun that fatal land filled with destruction.
But Lucibella, like a chased hind, flies through the thickets and neglects the briars. After her runs your princely son, Mathias, as much disturbed, though not so much distract, vowing to follow her, and if he can, defend her from despairing actions.
And will we follow them, Prince Otto? Adieu. Care goes with us, yet we have grief with you. Inter your uncle, punish traitors' crimes. Look to your person. These are dangerous times.
Exeunt Roderick and Saxony.
Lords, take this body, bear it to the court, and all the way sound a sad, heavy march, which you may truly keep. A mournful march, indeed, when kings are dead. Go on afore. I'll stay a while and weep my tributary tears, paid on the ground where my true joy, your prince, my uncle, fell. I'll follow, to drive from you all distress and comfort, though I be comfortless.
Exeunt with body, a dead march. I don't know what the dead march will be like. Remains behind Lorrique and Hoffman.
Art thou not plumped with laughter, my Lorrique?
All this is excellent, but, worthy lord, there is an accident this instant chanced, able to overthrow in one poor hour as well your hopes as these assurances.
What is that, Lorrique? What can fortune do that may divert my strain of policy?
You know that all Prussia takes you for the son of beauteous Martha, Duchess of Lunenburg.
Aye, they supposed me to be Otto, her son, and son to that false duke whom I would kill, or curse my stars.
His star is sunk already. Death and heaven have vowed an endless league of amity.
Had I Briareus' hands I'd strive with for executing wrath upon the hour, but wishes are vain. He's gone.
And they exit. Oh no! Your aunt's arrived, or the aunt of the person that you are pretending to be has arrived. Oh no!
The
Or
mother!
Mother!
The mother of the person.
Oh, mother! Sorry. Where did I... Oh, yes, Martha. Martha. Why did I write an aunt? I don't know. Yes, so... Oh dear, enter Martha. So complication. You see, it's all gone so well. I mean, there's a moment where I just see Hoffman putting his arm around Lorrique's shoulder, just going, "Oh, that French doctor," and Lorrique's just standing there quietly, afraid. So yeah, Jerome's dead. Stilt is dead. So they're basically killing off the clowns. There's only Lorrique left if we're going to consider him a full clown here, but this is one of the few plays where they're killing the clowns. I always like to see that. And yeah, so Stilt's off to the gallows, And it's really good. I just love the way he's constantly going. Yeah, look to me, sir. I poisoned you. He's just Gordon Bennett. So yeah, pretty much went as I was expecting there. Pretty much went. Yeah, everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Apart from the ones who aren't. Lynn.
Yeah, so I find this a really interesting little twist. I mean, it looks like maybe the jig is up because the real Otto's mother is at hand, but also the real Otto's mother's husband, Otto's father, is the one that Hoffman really, really, really wanted revenge on, and he evidently has died of natural causes. He's already gone. Darn. So I mean, that's so anticlimactic. After all of this, his main target has already died of natural causes. I don't know what to make of that, but that also feels really deliberate. It sort of makes the whole thing even more absurd.
I also just wondered whether they just didn't want to double him, because they've killed so many people off, and there haven't been that many female characters, so it makes more sense if you're going to introduce a major new character that maybe you need to hand it to an actor who hasn't already played a major character that he has already killed. So I do like that very much. And yeah, we're basically set. It feels like this is a 3-act. Actually, we're reading this in almost exactly the right way of doing it as well. It's not quite perfect, but it almost has a 3-act structure. This rather, and it's quite nice that we're leading into this arrival of this late complication to the play, who hasn't been signposted particularly earlier on. So I quite like that. We've cleared the decks of the previous lot of people. They're all dead, apart from a handful of survivors. Aliki.
It also gives us a chance to see Hoffman have a big reaction to a disappointment. You know, we've seen him celebrate all of his evil deeds. Now he can cross off yet another name on the chart with a bouncing up and down like a Gargamel. Oh, curse it! Which is fun. And more chance for him to chew the scenery.
Yes, art thou not plumped with laughter? And he's going, well, there's some bad news. Good news and bad news, my lord. Good news, you poisoned a lot of people. Yeah, so once again, lots of opportunity for people to practice their deaths. So we got some poison death acting now. Dragging off to be hanged acting. With some and not bad jokes. I'm not hating the jokes either. I think they're sort of working. They're not subtle, but they're working. Yeah. But yeah. Dun dun dun. Enter Martha. Other thoughts about this scene, Lynn?
You know, Aliki's take on Hoffman's reaction to his arch enemy dying before he could kill him, that's one take. But I wonder if it would be funny if Lorrique says, "Oh, that guy you really, really wanted to kill, he's already dead." And if Hoffman went, bummer. Oh well, he's gone. I'm having fun.
There is an interesting question at this point in the play. Does he really care about revenging his father anymore? He doesn't talk about his father much anymore.
Not anymore.
After that opening gambit. Sarah.
Yeah, and he hasn't like pulled back the curtain to reveal the skeleton for ages now. So I I think he's probably processed that and let it go. Yeah, I think what Aliki and Lynn have said is dead right, because if you'll pardon the use of the expression, but because this play is all about bathos. I mean, it really is. It's like it's set us up at the very beginning of the play with all this, thunder and lightning, very, very frightening, and dead bodies, and murder with red hot crowns, and it was all like, but then actually everything from there has just been a series of steps into bathos. And it's kind of hilarious, and I'm really enjoying it. But the fact that, like, the guy who we set out to kill is already dead, I think that would be exactly the way to play it. Like, yeah, shit happens. Because like by this point he's just enjoying the mayhem too much. I think he's just enjoying the murdering, and whatever reason he had for justifying it is long gone.
Yeah, I think we're talking about alternative subtitles, but I think actually this is it's not Revenge for a Father, it's Father for a Revenge. It's just that's just the excuse to start his killing spree, frankly. Maybe Father was the one always holding him back from murdering people, and now that particular stop has gone, that he's just gone on a rampage. Sarah.
I mean, if this was a modern drama or comedy drama, we'd get to the end and we discover that, of course, it was actually Hoffman who killed his father in the first place because he was trying to stop him from murdering everybody.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go around the room for final thoughts. I think we're all pretty much where we were yesterday. I don't think much has fundamentally changed about our opinions of this play. There's some really nice set pieces. I'm really liking the French Doctor impression. I think that works really well. All of the things. I like the little random rebellion. I mean, it was set up. I mean, it's not totally random. It was actually set up. But I didn't see it coming, if that makes sense, in the sense that he said he's going to go away and do some stuff. And he does, and it's basically because he didn't let him have his fight. So he goes, I'm going to start a rebellion. Oh, he did. Oh, well done, Jerome. Well done. Good for you. You seem to have actually inspired some fellow feeling among the populace. Who knew he was this great populist leader? Who's, not very bright. Anyway, Aliki, any final thoughts?
Not really. I'm just enjoying the grotesqueness of it all, and I think Lynn mentioned the rhyming couplets last time. The rhyming couplets are really growing on me.
Lynn, final thoughts?
No, that wasn't my insight, but thank you. So I'm going to sort of be more local about this. There is a professional performance company in Seattle, Washington, who used to, unfortunately, they haven't been able to do this for the last few years, do a bloody tragedy every Halloween season, and have a sliding scale admittance fee. It's like it's their one thing they do for free if you can't afford a ticket. And it's always just like ridiculously bloody. I saw Revenger's Tragedy there, and it was just like they had a splatter zone. It's like you guys have to have a piece of Visqueen on you because they're and so if you're out there, Seattle Shakespeare Company, you got to bring that back, and you got to do this play.
Yes, a half quack there. But it's fine. We'll let you. That's okay. Alan, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking yesterday it's pastiche, and I haven't had cause to revise that opinion. I mean, it just seems there's almost a feel of, and I know I've said this before about other things, it's almost got the feeling of an end of term review of, well, somebody else down the road has had success with this. Let's see just how many more notches up the scale we can push the blasted thing.
It does feel like it's deliberately pushing buttons against rival companies. I mean, the Boys Company are doing similar things. We've had Antonio's Revenge relatively recently. There's another potential rival company out there doing something similar. It feels like, this stuff's out there by the rivals. How can we do it but not the same way? Let's just turn that dial up to 11. Because it goes all the way up to 11, and just go for it. Kyle, any final thoughts? You weren't here last time. Did you find you were confused by what was going on at any time?
Yeah, but it does seem deliberate, so that wasn't too troubling. I didn't feel like I needed to get a purchase on it because, as you've mentioned, it seemed very pastiche and farcical, and yeah, I think it's fun though. But yeah, no deep insights.
No, we are struggling to have expanded thoughts on this because I'm not sure there really are. I'm not sure really there are any. It's just, Yeah. But I have to say, in terms of performing it today, it does solve a bit of the problem that we were talking about the first session, which was, what happens if a modern audience just goes full out for laughing at it? And actually we're going, no, the text is fine with that. It clearly does not mind if the audience is laughing throughout. And if this, this is an outdoor designed for an outdoor playing space, so it's clearly going to get laughter because that's what outdoor does with tragedy. So it's very hard. You have to really stamp your foot on an audience to stop them laughing in a shared light condition. So this play's just clearly going, no, we don't have a little indoor theatre. We're not going to do torches and make it all depressing. We're just going to go for the laugh, the ironic laughter side of things, and have fun. And I just think an audience would actually have a riot with this. I really do. Sarah, any final thoughts?
Not really. I'm having a riot with it. I'm absolutely loving it. The only thing that could make it better would be if Hoffman formed a musical, a murderous glee club in the next act, and the whole thing turned into a musical. That would be hilarious. But short of that, I'm just hoping for more of the same, honestly, because it's just, it's a hoot. And I'm now wondering why I even bothered trying to come up with some dramatic and serious staging for yesterday, because we weren't sure what the tone is, but I think now we clearly are sure what's going on.
Yeah, I think we've found its level, haven't we? Okay, on this relatively short session, all that remains is to thank. There's still time for it to all go belly up in the final session, of course. I don't feel with this play, I don't have that fear, because frankly, the worst it can be is slightly underwhelming in the blood stakes, and we can always add more blood. So that's really not a problem with a tragedy. You just kill one or two more people in the climax. I'm expecting a lot of, a few dead bodies at the end. I'm hoping for it. I'm curious how many people are going to make it to the end, actually. I don't know. I don't know how this play is going to play it. All that remains is to thank all the wonderful readers for all their wonderful reading. Thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye. White lilies and blue daffodils.